I wake up each day. Your laughter lingers in every ray.
Welcome to Unstoppable, everybody, where faith, healing, and growth take root. I am your host, Dr. Paulette Scott, widower, mother, grandmother, author, digital entrepreneur, respiratory therapist. This podcast was created for anyone who's rebuilding, rediscovering, or simply learning to live again after life's hardest moments. This podcast is dedicated to the love and memory of my best friend, my husband, my life partner. Each week, we dig into stories of resilience, business, healing, and faith, all designed to help you grow with whatever it is life has taken you through. Life will try to break you. I know this all too well because it tried to break me. I lost my husband, my best friend, and the foundation of my world, but I refused to stay down. Unstoppable is more than a podcast, it's a movement created alongside my other business rooted in growth. The mission here in this show is where faith will meet resistance, where struggles transform into strength, and where we plant the seeds of legacy that outlive us all. Today's episode is incredibly special. Affirming your way forward, healing identity, new birth, new beginnings with Miss Shannon. Today's guest is an incredible mother, a new grandmother, entrepreneur, and a woman who has embraced transformation with courage, honesty, and a deep commitment to personal growth. Shannon has walked through life transitions that require her to pause, reflect, and rebuild. And instead of allowing these challenges to harden her, she learned in the power of affirmations, intentional healing, rediscovering who she is at her core. Her story is a reminder that healing isn't a destination, it's a journey of speaking life over yourself, choosing your own evolution, and honoring the pieces of your story that made you stronger. So, family, get those journals and open up your heart. Today, we're talking about identity, emotional healing, affirmations, and the unstoppable journey of becoming you. Shannon, welcome. Welcome in. How
Welcome.
are you?
I am good. I am
Good.
good.
Oh my God,
Thank you so much for having me.
oh my God, it's such an honor to have you. You know, I've been wanting get you in here because your whole being, just your whole positivity and your motivation to support and help and your love for life and just all of the teachings. You don't even know how some of the things you put out there, Shannon, just speaks volume to many of us. And so I just had to have my girl up in here with me on this one. This one because we're coming into a new year, right? And I
We
think
are.
everybody needs to look at new beginnings. And so I know you're going to be able to do this for so many people. And of course, you guys, all my listeners and watchers, we are going to have her talk about everything we can and try and sneak in some business support from her, how to reach her to help us grow and look at our future needs because we have one. She's helped me and I want her to help every one of you out here. So let's start with the first question. If you're ready, my girl, I am ready to
I
get
am ready.
going. All
Let's
right, the
do it.
first one, yes, the first one we're going to hit on the topic, everybody, is life's defining turning point. Every woman has a moment where life shifts and forces her to grow in unexpected ways. What was a turning point, Shannon, in your journey that pushed you towards deeper self discovery and transformation?
Well, thank you for having me, first of all. But for
Yes.
most of my life, I thought I really did think who I was the roles that I played. Shannon the mom, Shannon the sister, Shannon the aunt, the caretaker, the woman who worked herself into exhaustion because everyone depended on her. But after all the last year, I would say, because that's when I've done the deepest personal development study of myself, studying universal principles, universal laws, and peeling back old paradigms with my mentors, Dolly and Troy, with Ella Vitality. I realized I realized something that really changed. I was not I was not just a body with a spirit. I was a spirit with a body.
Mm.
And that means and that meant to me that I'm magnificent, I'm creative, I'm created in the eyes of the creator. So I'm a creative being just having a human experience. That's it. And when I realized that, I'm like, it made me feel like, there's nothing I can't do.
Yeah.
Nothing, you know? And that really opened up a door inside of me. And it just, I don't, it's so who I am today, I guess I could say is a woman who finally knows her own divinity, somebody who's consciously creating her life consciously every single day, and who chooses to rise from the inside out. And that's the one thing is we all have a choice. Every single one of us. The one thing nobody can take is what you think and what you choose. Like even in the worst situations, I've read stories of people in concentration camps back in those days, and the one guy I was reading about, the one thing he couldn't take is what he thought. You still can't take my thoughts. You still can't take my internal power. And
That's
so when I
powerful.
realized all that, when I realized that, and I was like, I started looking at my life as, is this all there is for me? And I knew there wasn't. I mean, I knew that wasn't it. This isn't it. Just going to work every day, the whole mechanical 9 to 5, just and teaching our kids to do the same thing. I couldn't do that any longer.
What a powerful, powerful. So, couple things out of what you just talked about. First of all, just for our viewers, you want to explain to them what you meant by your paradigm a little bit, just so that they can
Well,
look into
paradigms,
that.
a lot of people, I myself didn't know what that really meant. I didn't use the word a lot until the past year, but it's just limited beliefs. It's just old thinking. And it's really just thinking we borrowed from our ancestors, our parents, they borrowed a belief, even what you eat. Why do you eat the things you eat? Because your mom and dad ate them, because their mom and dad ate them. But those are things you can change. And paradigms, a lot of people think, and I used to think this too, that they were a negative thing. But all negativity is subconscious. So that means there's good paradigms too. It's
Wow.
just good habits, bad habits, and just changing those little things and not digging into the child, and what happened and what go back into your past and try to figure all that out. Just know that's just that's how I was thinking then. Today is today, and move forward from there. You can't fix
Wow.
anything by going back. You can connect the dots going backwards, yes, and see, okay, what was I thinking at this point that kept me in this stage of my life? And you can change that. You can change
Wow.
it.
Wow. Shannon, that's powerful. And so, how did it feel when you realized, wait a minute, I'm I'm the reason my life isn't where I want it to be? Did it feel free to start really looking at who Shannon really is?
Oh, it's really tough. It's the hardest work you'll ever do. Honestly, the hardest. To have to look at yourself. If you could look at yourself in the mirror and speak out loud to yourself, you can't lie to yourself. You cannot lie to yourself. You have to be honest. And it's really helped me in so many ways, though, to stop blaming other people, to stop blaming circumstance, situation, and even if something as hard as, death and losing somebody like you've had to do, and what I've had to do, a lot of us had to do, it's still, we're created by the, we're created by a powerful God, and we are here to create and to keep moving forward, not to sit in negativity and just wallow over things. Things happen. God is no respecter of this. This is something you and I have spoke about. He's no respecter of us, meaning good things happen to bad people, bad things happen to good people. Just the way I look at life. I look at life very broadly on in that sense. Because if we looked at every circumstance, we would just sit and blame and that person and this person and this person. Gets you nowhere. It gets you nowhere.
Yeah, yeah. I told you guys she just getting started. I told you this was going to be a powerful, powerful show. And I'm telling you, if you don't have a pen and paper in hand to take notes and listen to what she's saying, that's your loss because it is really, truly time for all of us to find the power within ourselves to live the life we so choose and the life we were created to. We hold our own selves back and look up, find out, understand what paradigm is. And I'm sure she's going to help because Shannon, you are someone who truly believes in the power of positive affirmation. I already know that because you're my friend. So I know who you are. I know what you feed into me and always have. What affirmations carried you during a challenging season? And how did you speak truth over yourself to help you rise?
I think my biggest one, because I use it daily and I've used it for every single day, I write it daily. I write a lot of things every single day. Some people would be like, why do you write the same thing over and over? You'd be surprised what repetition really does. So
Mm,
it's just like hearing a
yes,
song, you know? Like, but probably I am becoming the woman my future self is proud of.
Hmm. Oh, I just
Yeah.
got chills. Why you just give me goosebump chills?
I said it when I believed it, and I said it when I didn't believe it. I said it when I had to borrow the belief of other people, because that's exactly what you have to do. There's a lot of cheerleaders out there for me, and I know it. And as long as I borrow their belief in me, and if, for any of us out here, you can conquer the world. And I mean it. You think you can't create an iPhone because you're not as smart as the guy that created the iPhone? Yes, you can. You can do anything. Yes, you can.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Oh,
And that affirmation just started rewiring like how I saw myself. Like it just became a guide. It just became a reminder every day and a foundation. And speaking truth over myself pulled me out of old identity, old thinking, old the way I thought of who I was. And that the person that kept me small, or the thinking that kept me small, I should say, and into the one I was meant to grow into who I already was. Because we are already perfect in essence. We are, every single one of us. There's a deep down personal an essence of us that is perfect. We were created in the eyes of a perfect God. We are perfect. We just have gotten letting the world, conditions again, circumstances, things get in the way, and then we base our opinions and all kind of things on that. Instead of looking internal, we base everything on the outside. And it's all about what's going on in here. Nothing about what's going on out here in this world. That's why, I mean, even the economy, everything, you can't blame it. You can't. You can change how you think about it. If it's a negative thing to you, it's going to be negative. If you're like, oh, I don't accept that, then it's not a negative thing. It's that simple. It seems hard and it seems confusing and it seems like woo woo to some people, but it gets me through life real simply a lot simpler that way, I should say.
yeah. And I think, too, like you said, it's the paradigm of our upbringing and the way we reflect on the way we always looked at things in life, right? And so the minute a person really start doing their research and look into, there are ways to see yourself in a different light or better, it could help you get through the toughest days. I know I've had to be my toughest person to be and to breathe and to know that this too is a part of my journey and my change and my journey. And I need to enjoy the ride and do whatever I'm created to do during this journey. How did you begin to rebuild your identity? How did you start all this and reconnect with the woman you are becoming?
Well, when my life fell apart and came back together, I actually didn't have to become someone new. I just had to remember who I really was. I mean, I really, it's when it boiled down to it. And my mentor, Troy, he'll say this if he hears me, shut that shit down, Shannon. Just shut the shit down. You know, all negativity is subconscious. So that's I've allowed in. I've gave that a negative connotation or that or that or that. I can change that. I started asking myself actually deeper questions like who am I when everything external is stripped away, and who am I when no one needs anything from me? Like who am I when I allow myself to dream again? Who is that person? And when you start doing that, piece by piece, the real you will come back. It will come right back. The strong you, the intuitive you, the creative you, it will come back. It can be rewired. There's nothing inside right here and this, human body that can't be rewired because everything up here can be. It's just I rebuilt my identity on truth and not obligation, really.
Oh my
You
Lord, I
know,
know
it
it's.
was it was more that simple.
Oof.
And understanding universal law and universal principles and living by those instead of trying to work against them, the only way is by truth. The only way. And as you know as well as I know, that healing, it requires courage. But the biggest thing, and I didn't think this was the truth because I've always been taught you got to work harder, you got to work harder, you got to work harder. No, you got to be still. You got to be still and be honest with yourself, just like we just said. That's the two biggest things. It takes courage, yes, but it takes being still and not think, I gotta do, I gotta do, I gotta do. Because there's a story in a book that I read about a fly at a window, and you can see the fly is trying to get out. He's fighting for his life, and we all know what's going to happen to the fly because it's never going to break that glass. But if he just stopped, the fly's going to die there on the windowsill. We all know that. But if he just stopped and turned around, there's an open door right here. Just stop 10 seconds and change the way you're focusing, and turn around and look. He could have been fly free, but that's what happens to a lot of us. A
Mm.
lot of us is that same thing.
Wow. Wow, that's something. So you mentioned about which we talked about, and I all too well understand healing does often require you to have a lot of courage and to look within yourself. When and what would you say? What internal practices or routines or shifts helped you begin to heal mentally and emotionally? Because, like you said, we've all been through some type of hurt, pain, you know, loss. What, no matter what it may be, what routine or practices, other than you said a positive affirmation, or there's something else, or other reading, or what do you do?
I
What helps you
I
mentally?
definitely journal. I started journaling every single day. I never used to write anything. I never read a book since I was in high school. Or I guess I went to, beauty school. I did read some books there. I started reading every day. I started diving deep into ancient teachings of people like Neville Goddard, and not ancient, I should say ancient, but Bob Proctor, especially Bob Proctor.
Yeah.
My mentors, Dolly, Alessandra, and Troy Chadwick. I lean on their teachings and just being reminded of my thoughts become things. Thoughts become things, and self-image is my destiny. So if I don't think I can do this, or if I think one way of myself, that's the way it's going to end up. And if I don't clear all that noise and hear my own inner voice, I'm not going to move forward. I knew it. I knew that. But by leaning, like I said, but by journaling every day and leaning on the belief of others, and I show up at study call every single morning at 10 a.m. for the past 400 days, I would say. I haven't missed a day. Well, that's not true. I missed a day for a funeral. That was it. But other than that, I don't miss it because that's my time to remember who I am and remember that I have a choice and that I have a choice to choose the thoughts that I think
Wow, that's
because
powerful.
and you can and I healed by like by shifting that mindset and my energy and my habits. Of course, that was a big thing, shifting my habits. But the biggest thing was giving myself permission to feel free, to rest, and to grow. Do those things for myself because that's what we forget. We take, as women especially, we take care of everybody else and we forget about who we are. You know all too well. Your birthday story is one of the first stories I ever heard you tell a year ago when you turned 60. We forget. It goes by so quickly.
It
I
does.
just don't want to be the grandmother or mother or person or creative being that ends up saying, I regret I didn't try to do this, I didn't try this, I didn't try that. I'm not going to be that person. I'm going to say I did it all.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. And I want to talk about because you mentioned mother and grandmother. Again, congratulations, grandma.
Thank
I
you.
know you are newly
Thank you.
grandma. What an amazing role to carry, right? It is just a powerful role for us. But being a mother and a grandmother does bring wisdom, patience, and perspective. How
Mm.
have those roles shaped your strength or your growth or your purpose?
Well, they definitely have shaped me in ways nothing else can, for sure. You know that. A lot of us do know that. My grandchild, my adopted one's my newest one, my real grandchild, I should say, my biological. He changed my entire perspective though. And they make you think about legacy and about the future. They make you start thinking about what you're going to leave behind. Because I myself I'm self-employed. I don't have a plan, so I had to start working on a plan, which I actually started working on this plan before he came. And then I put on my vision board a beautiful little baby boy before I even knew they were pregnant, and he looks just like the picture on my board. His bedroom is painted in the same colors. It's pretty wild. Yeah. But every decision I make now, every business I build, whatever I do, every mindset I adopt is definitely rooted in growth and wanting to create generational peace and health and just abundance for him, for my son, for my family, for myself, because it starts with me. I used to
Yes.
think it starts with everybody else and fix everybody else. It starts with you.
Wow, this
But
is
I
so
guess, yeah.
inspirational. You are so
And motherhood will
inspirational.
make you strong, but grandmotherhood will make you wise.
Yeah, that is so true. I
Wise.
couldn't.
Yeah.
That's the truth.
Yes.
And many women, Shannon, forget to choose themselves while caring for everybody else, right? That's like you said earlier. That's something we as women do. We take care of everybody but ourselves. When did you realize it was time to prioritize your own well being and goals and growth? When did you realize, you know what, I got to start taking care of me?
Exactly like I said, with the moment I realized everyone else was getting the best of me, and I was just getting what was left over. That was it. There's nothing empowering about being depleted, or there's nothing noble about abandoning yourself. But that's what I was doing. I was abandoning myself to make sure each and every person I could think of had a phone call, had a text, are you okay? Because I haven't talked to him in 3 weeks, like I am that person. But I had to realize it's time for Shannon to grow inside, and then everybody around her will grow, or they won't be around her, one or the other.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Because choosing
absolutely.
yourself is not selfish, it's necessary. It's totally necessary. And it was me saying, my goals matter, my health matters, My peace matters and my happiness matters. I had to say that to myself, though, not to everybody else I was helping because it wasn't their fault. There was nobody to blame but the Blake Shelton right here. And that decision really has changed the entire trajectory. And you've met me along this path. It's changed the entire trajectory of my life. The entire thing. It's
That's
pretty
wonderful.
cool. It's really cool.
Yeah. Yeah. That's awesome because I think a lot of us walk through life and don't even know who we are and don't even realize we're lost and don't even realize our stagnation and what we want is in our power. We just don't understand how to go after it. What did you do? I know you mentioned your mentors. You want to mention and talk to us a little bit about what led you to start seeking mentors? Did you do it to better who you are, or did you just stumble on it? How did you get started with getting that self help? Because that's what I call it. You just have somebody guiding you and reminding you of
Right,
your power within, right? Because if you
right.
don't stay in the now with them, if you let it go, you're going to get lost and back again. So having that
Yeah.
consistency. What got you started in this?
Well, actually, I run a property management company doing everything from construction to housekeeping for 20 years. And one day I said to myself, I said, riding in my truck, if this is what I do every day, this is all I'm ever going to do. And so fast forward, I was introduced to digital marketing, and I was like, huh, that's funny because I've never used a computer in my life. But I said, okay, I'm going to try it. I'm going to just try it. I didn't do the greatest with it, at first, but then as time went on, I found more other mentors. People online became my friends, like you and I. We met in this space, and we've also met in person. And I've met people like that, and we started just learning things about this online space. At that right there, we took a course together. We were in a group together that we learned a whole lot about TikTok and about how to create content. And I will never regret anything the way it went, whether the business I chose in the beginning was the perfect one or not, because I've aligned myself with another one now, of course. But I mean, it was doing that. And I guess along the way of the digital marketing thing, somebody mentioned Bob Proctor. I don't even know. I was staying at a house that I was working at that night, and I went to sleep listening to him. I don't even know the video. I wish I did. I wish I could find it in my history. I didn't even really, I knew who he was, but I had never listened to any of that stuff before. And then I heard in this digital marketing program I'm in about Laura St. John, and I was like, I'm just gonna sign up for it. I need this help. And she seems like a really down to earth person. And I did a 10-week course with her. And then in the interim of being in another group and learning courses and learning, how to do TikTok and this, we were introduced to Troy Chadwick with ellavitality.com, and he resonated with me like no one ever has because it was like a slap in the face. And all I remember that he said was habit or people form habits and habits form futures. And I was like, that's it. That's all it is. Change a few habits and you're good because habits are really good. I mean, they could be a good thing, but of course, we know about habits. They'll keep you stuck, they'll keep you in a lot of ways. But when he said that, I was like, man, it really is that easy. And I do have the choice to think what I want. And it was just an eye-opening thing. And from that day, I got on the phone with him that night after the call. And I have been at the daily study. I've also did a deep dive, did some bigger investing in myself, but it was in myself. Yeah. And all the other times I've ever chose, it would have been to help somebody else, but it
Yeah.
was to help myself.
And that's awesome because you literally took the time to now invest in Shannon. Because sometimes we feel guilty about investing
Mm,
in ourselves. And at the end of the day, if we don't, that doesn't allow us to grow and move forward, you know. And I love that what you said. So I'm gonna go back a little bit to the digital business. Can you just share what inspired you to step into it? Because you got your own construction company, right? You do a lot of you have your own other company that ain't in the digital space. What inspired you to go ahead and get into this entrepreneurship in the digital space and to build
Well,
your own?
the
Okay.
time freedom, and the fact that I don't have a retirement plan. I don't have a plan to leave my new grandson, my son, and if anything happens, it's on me. If I don't go to work, I don't get paid, just like a lot of us. But when you run your own business, the discipline that it takes to make sure you show up and to make sure you leave your name on a project or a house or whatever it is in good standing, because I've never had a business card in my 20 years, just by word of mouth. But it takes a lot of discipline to do that. And it takes a lot of time away from home, though. I was spending weeks away from home because it is 2.5 hours from my home now that I've moved. But I seen a way that I could actually work online and learn something else, because I love to learn. And even though I was scared to death of this computer that I now use, I still don't use it a whole lot because I don't have to. But there's so much you can do from these little phones that are now computers as well.
Mm-hmm.
But it felt like, just like building houses, I didn't know how to read a tape. When I showed up on that job site, I'm like, please just give me a chance. I'll work hard, I promise. And they made me construction clean up for 6 months before I could even swing a hammer. But I was there 15 years and I learned so much. And then I started taking care of those specific houses. But I knew I'm still trading my time for somebody else. And I can't keep going up in price, for the same job. The only thing I can do is pick up more houses and more hours away from home and more time away from my grandson, my new grandson. And I was like, when I heard he was coming, I'm like, there's no way in heaven I'm gonna do that.
I know that's right.
And I was like, whatever it takes to learn this, I'm gonna learn it. And I'm gonna rely on people that know a little more than me and stick with those people. And I'll
Yes,
get there.
that's great. Wow. Wow. So let's start when it comes to I want to move a little bit into helping others start an online business. There's many men and women out here listening who want to start an online business, but they don't know where to begin. What advice would you give someone ready to start but unsure how and what kind of support can they reach out to you for that?
Of course. For anybody, any women, especially women, but anybody listening who feel that pull, the pull towards something more, and you, like she said, you don't know where to begin, I'm going to say this. You don't have to start perfect. I'm going to keep it real, two-sentence, easy. Just start. Just start something. Confidence will not come first. Action. Action comes first. I always thought, well, I gotta go in here and build up my confidence before I create a video. No, do the video and then you can be like, oh, I can do that. So easy. And now it's so easy.
That is
But my
awesome.
advice, like I said, is simple. Just start small, start scared, start unsure, just start.
Just start.
And of course, if you want support, that is where I come in. I mentor women through the beginning stages, the mindset, the beginner steps, the clarity, the momentum. And you don't have to do any of this alone, because you can borrow my belief. I believe in everybody. Paulette knows. I believe in every single person. I will hold the space for any person. Even if I don't care for you, hold on, I'll still hold space for you.
She's true. She's real, y'all.
But you
That's a
don't have to
fact.
do this alone. You just don't. And you don't have to feel like that ever. And
Shannon, tell
especially
us a
once
little.
I reclaimed my
Uh huh.
position with God and I really reclaimed an internal, deep connection with God, you're never alone, anyways.
Mm,
But you're never alone. I've met friends online that I know I'm never alone. I don't care what time it is. I've never met some of them in person, and I still know I'm not alone. There's people out here that will help you. Anybody listening, there's two of us right here that will help you for sure.
Yes,
And if there's two,
absolutely.
there's always more.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Can you share with us a little bit about one of your businesses that are available? Because I know we do a couple. I'm involved with some with you. But what would you like? Just share for our viewers something that is easy for them to start with that you can help get them involved in now to where they
Hmm.
can start investing in for their future for tomorrow, right?
Yeah,
Because
I
to
definitely
all, go
go
ahead,
ahead.
go ahead. I was just going to
I
say to all of our listeners and viewers, no business you invest in will bring you richness. It's a process, it's time. And if you're not mentally growth ready to accept it's investing time in your and doing the things necessary to grow it, it will never go where it needs. And that's a part of that paradigm shift she talked about us really understanding that our thoughts on what we can do and how we limit ourselves is what we got to work on. But Shannon, tell us a little bit about, I know that you and I do a couple things together, but I want to really get people to know that there is more out here, that small investment too, right? I mean, let's
right.
share a few. Let's tell
Yeah,
me.
definitely the one that we're both aligned with, the health and wellness. It's in the health and wellness space. That's where they've started. It won't remain there. It will be expanded in the future. Very new company. But this company has the transparency of a company I've never seen. I am on meetings every week with the CEO, the owner. There's four people at the top. Four. We don't have huge buildings, huge this. So that keeps the cost very low. And it is in the health and wellness space. And if you already take supplements, you already take vitamins, which most of us do, and a lot of us don't because you quit after a few months because you can't afford them or you don't know what you're taking. The transparency here is highest quality, lowest cost, and help and build an income on the side just for sharing the little message with people that there's a company out there doing this for people. That's it. A $50 investment. It's literally a $50 business. $10 a month to keep it active. That's it. There is no upsells. You go share a message that there is a company that helps people save money, build an income that compounds and keeps going residually, which is what we've all been looking for, instead of that one and done, like you work the hours, you get paid for the hours, that's it for the week. No, you need the one that works while you're sleeping. And this is what I mean by residual. This is what's happening. I'm paid residually every month just for sharing with others. And I help people do the same thing. That's simple. Nobody loses in this company and Live Good. Nobody loses. That's exactly why I was so aligned with it. Like it is everything. And even on the meeting on Fridays, they use the same language, like your paradigms and working on yourself. And I'm like, I knew I was meant to be here. And I've been working on myself physically as well, like the walking and I'm eating different things and I'm taking all my supplements and quit several things I was doing. I did 5 miles today. I'm like, I've been getting up every morning early and getting out of this house and going and walking or doing the walking and baby jogging right now. Because I mean, that's what it takes. Just get out there and feel better about yourself. And you
And
can make
everybody,
everybody around you feel better.
yes, yes, and everybody can get involved with it, right? There's no education you need. There's no um connection or experience. It's just
No,
connecting with us, with you, and finding out where do we go from here or what it's all about. And we'll make sure your contact information will pop up on screen. It'll be in the bottom of the video. Everyone that is viewing and listening, you will be able to find her contact information. And she's already on the company's website. So if you go to unstoppable.com, you will see Shannon, you'll see her bio, and you can connect with her. So you talked a little bit about, you know, you're growing your future. I'm gonna bring in my gardening part with this question. So we're gonna talk about the gardening within. So if your life right now were a garden, okay, what would you say is growing beautifully, and what new seeds are you planting your future?
If my life were a garden, first
Yes.
thing I
What?
would advise people to do is stop pulling up the and looking to see if it's growing. Like so many people do that with their plans. They'll like start doing something. And just like in a garden, Paulette does not go pick up the plant out of the soil to see if the roots are growing to yet. You
Right.
trust. You trust the process that it will bloom the fruit that you put in there, right? But it's the thing that's blooming beautifully in my garden is peace. Peace, the deep inner calm and that comes from knowing that I am aligned. I know I'm aligned with the woman I'm becoming. I know it. And the seeds that I'm planting, I know I'm planting seeds of abundance. I'm planting seeds of expansion, generational security, and I claim this. I claim it, not just financially, but spiritually and emotionally. I claim it.
Man,
My
I
garden
love it.
is full of
Yeah,
love.
girl, I
It's
love
full
it.
of
I
love.
love. Yes, I love that. I love that. I just visualize that, you know?
Yeah, you
I
just have
just,
to stop pulling up the plants.
wow.
And like my mentor Troy says, if you want an avocado seed or an avocado, plant an avocado seed. You're not gonna get a tomato. Like you're gonna get an avocado.
You're going to get an
Be careful
avocado.
what you plant. Yes. And weeds grow too. You know it. You see it. Weeds
Got
grow
to pull
just
them
as
out.
well.
Got to pull
Yep.
them out. As a matter of fact, I did a full episode on weeds and the
Yeah, and
importance
guess what happens?
of,
The more you keep tilling them out of there, guess what happens? They
yeah,
don't come back.
yep, yep,
Same
absolutely.
thing in life. Same thing.
Mm,
Start changing those paradigms and those old habits, and it just becomes routine that you're doing these new things now. Those old ones can't come back. They can't.
right. Absolutely. Absolutely. Listen, you are something else, girl. I just love these conversations with you. I could go all night with you every day. It's like I don't know if anybody out here getting this, but you need people like this in your circle and in your life, right? So that you could feed into each other, not just extract from her, but feed back into her as well. So, Shannon, I want to talk about what being unstoppable means to you. You know, that's the name of the show because God brought that to me. This was not just Paulette coming out of her butt with something. This was literally losing my husband and ready to give up because it just always seemed like my plans in my life for me that I had never worked out. And it's so easy to want to just say the hell with it and give up. But I laid there in my bed and I was told, oh no. And I remember my husband always telling me, girl, you are unstoppable. You better get up and do what you need to do. Don't you let what they say stop you. You keep going because you got it, Paulette, right?
Hmm.
When you look back on your journey, the growth, the healing, the new beginnings, what does unstoppable mean to you personally?
It means you never fall. It doesn't mean you're fearless. It doesn't mean everything's going to go smoothly, but it means you rise anyways. You keep going anyways. You choose yourself anyway. And instead of saying, what is happening? Why is this happening to me? Or why is this happening to me? It's happening for you.
Mm,
Everything in this life, every single day, I don't care if it's running into somebody ran into your buggy at the grocery store and it made you look there, you saw something and it meant something. So in my eyes, it does. It does. And it's just, you choose yourself anyways. You choose yourself. You rise above limitations and you keep going, no matter the big or small. 'Cause what might seem big to you is little to somebody else, what might seem, vice versa. And it's the woman or man who walks forward that keeps walking forward even though life tries to pull you backwards, and it's a woman who refuses to quit on what she is being called to do. And as your friend, I know what you're being called to do. I know what I'm being called to do, and we're living that. We're living it
Yes.
out every single day that in the best way we can with the awareness that we have.
Yes.
We're living that.
Yes. Yes. Absolutely. And with that being said, young lady, let me just say you are such a blessing to know and have in my life. You always have. You came in my life like a powerhouse, period. Like we both out here in this digital space and the connection, the sisterhood just happened like that. Because
Yep.
I know, again,
Like attracts like.
absolutely. And like you just said, and I never thought about it like that, but look at things the way it happens and look at for what it might be and don't pass it up, right? Like getting, you said somebody running to you with at the grocery store with a grocery cart, that looking
Yeah.
back, don't
You
miss
could
what you
get mad
should.
about it and it cause a whole situation. Or you could, right? Maybe one day that was for a reason. You just never know. Like, just be aware of your thoughts, be aware of your words.
Mm, mm. Be aware of what you put in the atmosphere, huh?
What you put
Wow.
out comes right back to you. It's not just karma. It's universal law. It has no choice. It's like as simple as Troy says all the time. If you think sad thoughts all the time, are you going to be happy? No, no, you can't. You can't.
Yeah.
If you think you
Yeah.
can't do something, you can't.
Wow. So
But
if
it's
you were to,
that one word, think,
yeah.
think. Most people refuse to think, but
Mm.
you gotta choose your thoughts.
Thoughts are powerful.
Thoughts are things. They
Thoughts are
become things just like Neville
things.
Goddard says. Thoughts become things. Remember that. They
Mm.
do. They're very powerful. That's all we have.
Wow. She definitely putting stuff on my mind, y'all. If y'all ain't writing this down, I don't know what to tell you. I hope y'all getting all kind of notes from this young lady. Shannon, if you were to sit here and talk to women and men that are listening, that are broken, they may be going through something. They don't think there's nobody out here ever going through what they've been through. Not to say that the feelings are the same, but because we all life is always going to do what it does. What would be your advice that someone could get started and just to start looking at ways to get through what they're going through? What advice? Like you said, you journal. Where can people start? Just what would you advise us? Even someone in my situation, the loss of a person in my life for 48 years. And I feel like nobody knows what I'm going through or my pain. It's so horrible. It's a devastating thing because guess what? My life changed. It did 360. Give us a couple things that we can look into today to maybe start looking to heal ourselves for tomorrow.
Well, first of all, you have to know you're never broken. You've never been broken. You never will be broken. It might feel that way. I was just talking to a friend today that said my life is so effed up. I'm like, but it's not. It's actually everything you've been asking for.
Mm,
So be careful what you ask for. But just know there's always a path. You have to, but the thing is, don't, if you're going to journal, write down positives as if they've already happened. Don't write down the negatives. I mean, if you do, crumble them up, burn them, whatever, write them down, yes. They be aware of them, but don't focus from there. Focus from how you want your life to be. Because you can go every day and say, I want to be wealthy, or I want to be abundant, or I want to be. You're implying separation, really. I want to be, or I'm going to be. The difference is I am. I am. That's all it is. I am. Think about I am in front of everything you say. I am strong. I am wealthy. Doesn't mean fake it till you make it, because that doesn't work. That means live as if. Live from the end, because that's all you can do. Live from the end. Just even when you're going through things on a daily basis. How do I want this to be? How would I really like this to look? Instead of all the negative things about it, because guess what you're gonna get more of?
Hmm.
It's really that
Hmm.
simple. It's honestly, remember you're
Wow.
not broken and start from there, because nobody is broken. In essence, we are all perfect. And I mean, even what we would think the worst person is, they are perfect in God's eyes.
Yes. There's something you said that I love, and it just reminds me God said, I am who I am, right? I am who I am. So if we say, I am, already claiming it to be there, that can make a huge difference.
It makes every bit of difference. Say, and when you
Mm.
say it, I'm gonna be rich. That sounds casual. I am rich. That sounds powerful. It makes you sit up, makes you hold your head up. It makes you feel different. Really does.
Mm.
It's incredible. It's incredible.
Mm.
And this has
Mm.
been
Thank you.
amazing. This has been beautiful. Beautiful.
Oh my gosh. Thank you so much, Shannon. You know, this visit here is going to bless so many people. Your talk and this time you taken with me, walking through transition, healing, just self discovering, because a lot of us didn't know that we have to do some self discovering, right? And that don't mean self discover yourselves and beat yourselves down. It's
Mm-mm.
just understanding who you are, and your limitations is because of your thought process. And we have to change that. Before we close, can you please tell our listeners how they can connect with you or follow your journey or learn from your inspiration and affirmations, and let's not leave without your book because you are an author. So I need them to
Yes.
know, girlfriend. Let's tell them about the book and where to find it because I
I
have it.
actually, the physical copy is in transit as we speak. I don't even have a physical copy yet. So I have several on the way. I've ordered several, and I hope to do a book signing. It is called The Circle of One, Volume 2. It's a group of 33 authors, including myself. My title in there is Infinite Becoming, ties in with my affirmation of who I am, or who I am becoming is who I am now, currently. And that can be found on Amazon, the digital copy for sure. Amazon.com, Circle of One, Volume 2. And you can reach me on TikTok, Shannon Infinite, or I'm sorry, Infinite Side Hustle is one of my handles. I'll let Paulette post those later with the video.
Yes.
And my name, Shannon Bennett, on Facebook. And there's only one because I am verified on there. So you know it's me. Have the little blue circle so everybody knows it's really a real person, because that's a little crazy these days.
Yes.
But yes, if I have several pages on TikTok, but Shannon Skills for Success and Infinite Side Hustle are my two main ones right now.
That's awesome. That's awesome, Shannon. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you for joining and listening. Shannon, this conversation has been powerful. You've given our listeners insight, encouragement, clarity for their own journeys, let me just say, and have given it to me. And I would love to have you back on a live episode so that our unstoppable family can ask questions to us, right, and speak to you directly, right, on our through our YouTube. And I'm looking at starting my live journeys late next 2026. So we would love to say we're going to get to have you back someday so they can actually ask you live questions and really connect with you. I hope you will. And family, if
Definitely.
Shannon, yes, thank you so much. Family, if Shannon's words spoke to your heart today, I want you to share this episode with someone who needs hope, clarity, and fresh inspiration. Because holding on to this just for you is selfish. Share this to change their lives or even save their life or give someone courage that they can change their situation. Shannon is available. I will again link her contact information at the bottom of the screen, so don't worry, you guys will be able to get it. So, as always, thank you all for coming. Remembering, don't forget, subscribe to the YouTube, click that thumb up button, and make sure you guys are sending this out. And if you are listening in on Apple Podcasts, Amazon, Pandora, iHeartRadio, wherever you're listening to us at, even on Spotify, share it, because there's somebody out here that needs to know they're not alone in whatever they're going through. We all go through it together. And always remember, no matter what you're facing, no matter what has tried to break you, you are loved, you are growing, and you are unstoppable. I'll see you all next time.
If you were empowered by today's episode of Unstoppable, please become a subscriber on our YouTube channel and also click the notification button. That way you are notified the next podcast drops. Also, please visit us on our website at www.unstoppablewithdrpaulette.com. On our website, you will see upcoming guest speakers. Remember, you can also catch our audio form on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon, and all the other major audio platforms. Thank you for joining Unstoppable with Dr. Paulette Scott. Until next time, stay blessed and stay prayed up on purpose.
I search for your smile in shadows and light, but the emptiness whispers